Welcome back to Brand Champions. I'm Howard Wolpoff, your host. Again, this is brought to you by Teal, the agency. And we're here to have a conversation with two gentlemen who know a lot about branding. I have Albert Thompson from Transient Identiti and Brad Kugler from DirectMail 2.0. Gentlemen, welcome to our conversation today.
Thank you.
Thank
Glad
you.
to be here.
So there's a lot
As
that
well.
goes into creating a brand and getting the right messaging to an audience. So Albert, when you start to talk to different companies that come in, what are the things that you're focusing on those initial conversations to make sure that the end result is the right message for their audience?
Yeah, I think the first thing you got to think about is the idea of having an identity mark, that you stand for something, even if you're juxtaposed against a movement or machine. I think that's the clear thing, because when you get into that, people follow stories, and brands who tell a better story are usually the winners, not only in the short term and in the long view. And I think that's the huge thing about brands really tapping into their stories. People got to remember, people don't really follow products and companies. They follow people. So they like the storytelling, the ideas behind the people. And it all starts with, what is the identity mark of that particular entity?
And that makes a lot of sense, because you want that to resonate with your audience and to be identifiable. And there's a lot of different ways to identify with a company. Messaging is key. Logos and color schemes are part of that as well. So when you're having a broader conversation of what's next with a company, how are you incorporating that? Are you having companies sometimes coming up with an image that they think speaks volumes, but you don't think will resonate with an audience, and having to have that kind of conversation with them? How does that process work within your focus?
I think you have to treat it like a waterfall. It's like, okay, everything, the ethos of what you are creating has to be in everything. It's kind of the joke in The Karate Kid when Jackie Chan is like, Kung Fu is in everything you do. The identity of the company needs to be in everything you do, down from packaging, down from logo to typeface, down from word verbiage to language to attitude, down to the people who actually run it, to a doctrine, to how you show up and activate and execute in, to the tonality of the campaign. What people want to see is a consistent narrative, that sort of idea of one band, one sound. And then you have to be very intentional about carrying it through, because people are always sizing up people the same way they're always sizing up companies. And they're looking for the inconsistencies about what track. Remember, it's not always what is said. It's sometimes about what is not being said. So I think what we do is we look at the idea of a message architecture to build that up, because you got to remember, it's the frame you have to set. Marketing is about setting the frame. A lot of people focus on the picture, but if you set the frame properly, nobody is focused on what's in the picture. So I think the idea is to use the identity to set the frame around what the business is going to stand for and what its ultimate promise is going to be to the audience or consumer it serves.
It's a very strong point about the frame, but also the fact you mentioned messaging and language, because Brad, that is one of the key components to direct mail to email, to getting the right message and tone from a brand into something that people are going to absorb, read, and respond to. So how do you take that from the brand and make sure that what you are sending out for them is really hitting that mark with their audience?
Well, we rely on consistency and repetitiveness. So once you've isolated that message or that logo or that creative, now you hammer it home as many places and as many times as you can reach those intended customers. So the key philosophy behind our methodology is repetitive of message to your audience on multiple channels. So you look at big brands like Nike or they are hitting you in every channel: TV, print, radio. It's a constant stream of the same message.
Which makes a lot of sense. I've always had the theory of people want to be marketed to the way they want to be marketed to. And with that, it goes different channels that you need to hit to catch people at the right time, or to have that frequency. I used to work in radio, the reach and frequency of a message. So when it comes to direct mail, how frequent do they really need to hit that mark? Or is it something that's more visual sometimes that will get the response that someone's looking for?
Well, it's both. And direct mail kind of stands above some of the digital noise level. Most people get hit with 10,000 digital messages a day. Direct mail, you're actually going to physically touch that piece of advertising, but we like our customers to do at least 3 mailings of that same message. And then we'll blanket that campaign with a digital campaign, with emails and other ways that they'll see that message more than just the 3 times. Obviously, mail is expensive. It works. So layering on other channels with that same message really is the secret sauce here.
Well, it really is. That frequency is key, and having that consistency in message, even more so to make sure that you are setting the tone for the brand to reach that audience and get that message exactly the way that they hope from the starting point of a campaign to the end result of seeing the customers come in and create revenue. So I thank you both very much for this conversation. I really enjoyed it, and appreciate all that you bring to the table for your clients.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you all for joining us as well. Branding is a very small word with a lot of different things that go into it. It's not just the image. It's not just the feel of the company itself. It's how you use your words, how you use your different marketing methods to get your message across. Speaking to gentlemen like Albert or Brad is definitely a good start to working on your branding. So please, I suggest you do so. Go out, have a great rest of today, and we will see you next time.